Recently, a story came out in the media about a Army Staff Sergeant's new wife was grabbed by ICE, and I thought, this is horrible, and I found it kind of odd because I know the U.S. military has processes when you get married. But as I looked into it, I found out that generally these processes that are applied are only when a serviceman is getting married to someone who is known to be a non-citizen, or somebody who's a foreigner from that they met while stationed outside the United States. And this is important because a lot of times there's marriages of convenience so that the person can obtain a legal status in the United States, including citizenship. So I know a number of sailors lost their hearts to Filipino women, and those marriages end up lasting a lifetime, So the military is just being thorough when they check people like that. When a serviceman or women get married here in the United States, there's generally not an investigation because there's this presumption that these people are citizens. They're here in the United States, all that. So generally, when somebody gets married stateside, it doesn't involve the same kind of investigation that would be involved with someone who's getting married outside the country. So the military didn't investigate this woman initially. What this story fails to say is that the United States military found a reason to investigate her. What that reason is yet to be made public, but I'm sure it will be in the coming days. This young lady, Miss Ramos, turned out to have an extensive criminal record and gang affiliations back when she was a teenager. And in 2022, the Biden administration issued a removal order for her when she was 18. So this removal order was not put in place by when she came into the country. It was put in place just a few years ago. Now, this whole thing is tragic for this staff sergeant. I'm sure he was not aware. He was going, like I said, he was going through the process at the time of having her declared a military dependent. Now, what the CID was not aware of, they were aware of her criminal history. And that is, since the crimes were committed while she was a teenager, there is no reason for the military to say, no, you can't marry her. This is past history. It's all done with. So they were not aware of this removal order that was lodged against her until ICE showed up at the base. So it's tragic. It's tragic that this officer is going through this. It's a shame that this woman, who was a child when she entered here, and here's the real rub, she falls under the Obama's executive order that she could have gone through, which was a form of amnesty. She could have gone through the process of legalizing her status and becoming a United States citizen, because she was brought into the country at such a tender age. She could have gone through that process and didn't. And the reason she couldn't was her criminal record. So she has herself to blame. And, I feel bad for the staff sergeant. I even feel bad for the young lady. Maybe she was trying to turn her life around. Who knows? But the story that you're getting is not the complete story. It's only the story that fits the narrative of the media. Now, I came under on TikTok. I like to post my videos on TikTok just to get the liberal reactions. And, excuse me, got a booger in my eye there. Yeah, I like to post them. And somebody called into question where I get my sources from, where I get my information from. Now, I would never, ever call myself a journalist. I'm just a guy who makes these videos. But through my life experience, I had a career in law enforcement in 1980s and 1990s, a career I walked away from. But I still have contacts, both in law enforcement. I have contacts in the media. And I'm not going to expose who they are, get them into trouble. But I know people who I can go to get information. And that's the long and the short of it. So, stay safe. God bless. Hang loose. The rest of the story is bound to come out sooner or later.